The last 3.5 weeks have been really tough because my ankylosing spondylitis has given me a run for the money. And along with that, my chronic pain has really challenged me. No longer negotiable day to day, it was severe. So severe that some days I didn't think that I could make it out of bed, from the floor, and into my day. And for that reason, I'm returning to the discussion of the language of pain. But this time, I'm not talking about how my body communicates with me, the vocabulary or the grammar of pain. I'm talking about the conversation, the communication between myself, a sufferer of pain, and those around me. Now, there's an important point here to make. I can't emphasize this enough to those who do not live with chronic pain. People who live with chronic pain from a condition that continues don't complain about their pain all the time. It doesn't mean that it's gone. It doesn't mean that it's not there. It simply means that they can negotiate it with some means available. But when it becomes so severe, so loud, it's like a crying, belligerent baby. A 2-year-old who wants attention constantly, and life begins to fade away because the pain is so loud inside. And it's during these times that the people around us notice and say, "Oh, are you in pain today?" Now, our first reaction is usually inside, and we go, "Yeah, every day. I'm in pain every day." But we kind of keep that to ourselves and instead respond simply with a yes. Now, very few of us scream, "Yes!" We answer quietly. We don't want to think about it more than we have to. Now, it's interesting because communication is a problem today. Actually, Pope Francis talks about this quite a bit, how people aren't listening anymore. And I really appreciate his wise counsel because he's right. He is absolutely right. Usually when people appear to be listening, they're formulating something to say. They're kind of formulating the response that they think they should give because they believe they know what the person, the speaker, is saying. Now, this is dangerous when the speaker has acute pain. They're screaming for help quietly, but they're screaming. That's the language. So the responses are, oh, I know, I can understand this because I know somebody. It's always, I know somebody. My favorite response of this type: my mother was recently diagnosed with osteoarthritis of the knee, and she's in a lot of pain. I understand perfectly. Pain is subjective. Nobody understands my pain. My doctors try to crack the code. They're constantly, what's the rating? I keep a pain journal. You know, many things that we do to try to relate what it is we're experiencing. So this idea that somebody who experiences pain somehow has communicated that experience to somebody else who then can communicate it to me, that is going to comfort me in some way, the idea is absurd. It's totally absurd. The best response from a person listening with the heart, listening, is to stop the brain, listen with the heart, and usually respond, how can I help? What can I do? Would you like me to pray for you? Would you like me to perhaps help you with dinner? How are you doing at home? You've got what you need for eating? It's about offering help, not giving counsel that's pre-formulated. Listen. Another response that I always love, and that was sarcastic, of course, is when people stop. Excuse me. When people make a response like this. Well, it can't be so bad. You don't look too bad. Oh, thanks. I mean, it could be worse. Think of so-and-so. They had this disease, and their pain, I'm sure, was much worse than yours. Once again, pain is subjective. Nobody's pain is like anybody else's pain. It is a very individual experience, and that pain is speaking internally in its own language. It is not a language that is necessarily shared. To ask someone to feel better because someone else suffered more, what a grim piece of counsel that is. How cruel. I hope you feel better because someone else has suffered too. Huh? And the last one, which we've all heard if we live with a chronic condition, the lists of cures, of things that are going to help. And I'm going to say this again and again and again. Those of us who live with chronic conditions and we are under a doctor's care have already heard of these cures. The one that's always brought up with me. Have you tried CBD? CBD is amazing. It's miraculous. It's wonderful. Oh my gosh, you really need to try this. Yes, I've tried CBD many times. Yes, but there's this brand that they sell now that's really good. You need to try this. To which I always respond, I've wasted hundreds of dollars trying CBD. I'm not trying anymore. Usually, I find silence then. Again, a person who lives with a chronic condition and under a doctor's care has usually heard of all of these cures. They are not saying help because they want to hear about a cure from you. They're asking for your comfort. They're asking you just to listen because they hurt so much inside. I don't talk a lot about the severe pain I have. I don't want people to pity me. And I know most people who live with chronic pain don't want pity. We just want to live. Now, this has been a rather severe video, hasn't it? But again, the best response can always be, how may I help? That's the response from the heart. And then, if you pray, would you like me to pray for you? I will remember you in my prayers. Those are responses that can comfort. My friends, I pray for others with chronic pain. I'm thankful to be living after the fact, at the end of the tunnel. I no longer have severe chronic pain. My chronic pain has subsided so I can negotiate it now. I pray that for others. I pray for those of you who live with others with chronic disease, that you listen. Don't give counsel and advice. Listen. Listen with the heart. Peace and all good, my friends. Ciao.